Hello listeners, and welcome to Yates CCE Gardens, Native Alternatives. I'm Lydia.
And I'm Caroline.
And in each episode, we'll be talking to you about a different invasive plant we've seen in the area and giving you a native alternative to plant instead. Remember, natives are always a better bet for your garden, and we are here to help you find the best one for your space. This week, our invasive species is a Miscanthus. Miscanthus sinensis goes by many names, including maidengrass, Chinese silvergrass, Japanese silvergrass, and zebragrass. Originally from Asia, this true grass escaped ornamental cultivation after being introduced into the US in the late 1800s. A herbaceous perennial, this Miscanthus has a medium growth rate but tolerates a wide range of drainage and soil types. It has long-lasting blooms and is resistant to deer, drought, dry soil, wet soil, humidity, salt, and wind. Though this may sound like a great plant for any garden, it's an invasive species and it does cause harm. It crowds out native plants and shades out native seedlings. It's prone to escape and invades disturbed areas, especially along roadsides, forest edges, and old fields. It's also highly flammable. Miscanthus spreads through rhizomes as well as by awns, the brittle-like appendages that grow from grains and grasses, allowing the seed to spread quite a distance when attached to an animal or a pant leg. Finally, when the plant dies back, the leaf litter decomposes at a very slow rate, delaying nutrient return. So Caroline, what can they plant instead of this invasive species?
Well, I have a beautiful native grass alternative for you, and it comes with a really great name. So, pink muhly grass, also known as cotton candy grass, which is going to tell you a little bit about how it looks.
Sounds delicious.
Yes. Its scientific name is Muhlenbergia capillaris. It is native to central and eastern United States, all the way down south to Mexico and Guatemala. So it's a very wide range, which means it is a very adaptable plant. It grows just like Miscanthus. It grows in full sun to light shade. Gets about 2 to 4 feet tall and wide, but it is not an aggressive grower. So you're not going to have to worry about little seedlings escaping everywhere, which is always my fear of planting grasses. It has a very late bloom time, usually starting in August and going all the way to October or even November. And its blooms are stunning. The straight species type has these wonderful, tall, cotton candy pink inflorescences, which are just so striking, especially when you plant them in a large group. After that, they will produce seed, and these wonderful tall seed heads, which will stand through winter. But the seeds are consumed so quickly by birds and small animals, you really don't get any reseeding in a garden unless you want to. You have to go out and save those seeds to get it. They're also an excellent year-round shelter for wildlife if you leave them standing. They are salt resistant. You can plant them right along the roadside with no issues. They're resistant to air pollution, and they're black walnut tolerant. So if you have a little bit of an area with some black walnuts next door at your neighbors, you are still just fine. Deer and pest resistant, no problem. Deer hate this stuff. It has very kind of sharp leaves, so they won't graze on it. And it's just an all-around great grass for a garden.
To finish off today's episode, we have a couple of tips for you. First, if you're buying plants online, check the description. If it says cannot ship to the following states, and it's not Alaska and Hawaii, chances are there's a reason for that.
Another tip that's good to know about growing ornamental grasses is that they really can thrive without any additional fertilizer. If you feed an ornamental grass, they tend to develop floppy foliage and not as good inflorescences. So my advice is, unless you are seeing a major issue in their growth rate, skip the Miracle-Gro.
Thanks for joining us to learn about native alternatives to invasives in your garden. We hope you learned something new to help make your garden even better.